Good morning. Today we're going to be doing a protein banana pancake. It's going to be gluten-free. Going to be using an organic whole oat. Whenever you're working with oats, especially if you have gluten intolerance, you want to make sure that you're looking for something that's certified gluten-free. Oats generally don't have gluten in them, but most of the stuff out on the shelf may have been processed in an area that possibly had it. It has a tendency to get contaminated in the manufacturing process. So this is what we're going to use today. There's not going to be any flour in this pancake recipe. So first things first, let's grab our ingredients. Today we're going to do everything in the blender, so super easy peas. I am omitting the chocolate chips from this recipe. That's going to save me a couple calories, a couple of carbs to leave room for a little bit of maple syrup if I want. First, just gonna take a ripe banana. A little bit of brown is fine. It's actually what you want. And just a couple more manageable pieces. Chop that up into your blender. 1 cup of the gluten-free organic oats. Another great thing about these oats is that because they're a whole grain, they don't break down as quickly. So that they actually don't spike your glycemic index as much as like a processed flour or other grain. We're going to take 1/2 cup of cottage cheese, also blender. Let me get all that out. Egg whites, so about 1/4 cup separated out. This was about 1.5 eggs that I found. So I actually cracked 2 eggs, separated them out, and then measured the white separately to make sure that I was following this recipe. So throw that in the blender as well. Your 4 tablespoons of coconut milk. I had to substitute cashew because I didn't have coconut, but I'm sure this will work. Now, not in the recipe, but I am omitting the chocolate chips. I just want a little essence in there, so I'm just going to put a tiny bit of vanilla in there. I put about 1/2 teaspoon. Then we need a little baking powder. And cinnamon. Move the blender just over here, get that all set up. Just make sure before you turn your blender on, it's set into the low setting. You don't want to just jump into high. So start it on low. Just gently combine the ingredients. Just looking to blend until smooth. Over to the stove top. Got a non-stick pan. Just going to start on about a medium heat. Just warm the pan. Now this recipe, we're not adding any fat to the pan to prevent the pancakes from sticking, because we're going to do a dry fried pancake. Hopefully, the fat that's in here will just help it not adhere to the non-stick pan. Also, making sure you have a really good non-stick pan, that, for this. If you don't and you want to add a little bit of fat, go ahead, but just remember to add that into consideration when if you're counting your calories, because fat adds a lot of calories. So just going to make sure this is preheated. You don't want it smoking hot, but you just don't want it to be cold. And you can just pour in a couple little spots of your pancake batter. Being sure to leave room between them. All right, and then the hard part, being patient. So many people try to flip pancakes far too early. Just let it be. No need to move it around. Watch your heat. You don't want it to be too high. You don't want to burn the bottom of your pancakes, but what we're looking for is you'll start to see bubbles coming through the raw side. Kind of mesmerizing. While those are cooking, I'm just going to get myself a plate ready. Now making sure you have a good spatula to do your flipping. I'm just going to check and see how these are looking here. You can see the bubbles that are starting to perforate through the pancake. Just gently go around it, take a little peek, take a little sneak peek, see what your color looks like. Looks good to me. So go ahead and give that a flip. That one's not quite ready. This one is though. A little bit of sticking there in the one. Pretty good. So they're mostly cooked through on the one side. The other side won't be quite as long. You want to make sure that they're not raw in the middle. You can see we're getting a pretty decent little rise on these. That's from the baking powder. Would they be better with chocolate chips in them? Yeah, probably. Maybe that's a treat for the Sunday. Yeah, pretty much there. Beautiful. So these cooked all the way through. My hands have some serious heat resistance, so I don't recommend that everybody does this. But then from your pan, we're just going to go to a plate. Make your nice little stack of pancakes. Put more on here in a minute. And I have enough to do of about that size. Another, well, yeah, at least 3 more. So yeah, a total of 6 pancakes. out of this recipe, and that's what you get. Add what you want on top of that. Just make sure, you know, if you're counting stuff, you know, pay attention to, you know, the maple syrup, or if you're so inclined to put a little stick of butter on here or something like that, which is, you know, what everybody wants on their pancakes. But yeah, give these a try. Fantastic.